So the first of 2 June tests between Argentina and Wales is about to get underway. Both teams have now been named, so we can kind of have a look at how things are looking. It's a more experienced Argentinian team compared to the Welsh team. But I guess with Argentina's selection policy currently the way it is, that's kind of to be expected. And also, Gatlin, at the moment anyway, seems to have his eyes on 2019, resting some of the big guns and trying to build a bit of depth. So we'll see how this match goes. They won last week against South Africa. We'll kind of see if they can build a bit of momentum, but it's a much changed team, so we'll see if that makes any difference. For the Pumas, Boffelli starts at 15. This guy is, I think, 3rd top try scorer in Super Rugby, and he kicks penalties from a very long way out. So he is having a fantastic season. He is definitely a man to watch. He usually switches between the wing and fullback depending on wherever he's needed. Delguy gets his debut on the right wing. He is 5th top try scorer in Super Rugby. So there's no lack of tries in that back three. Sanchez is fit to play at fly half. He has just had the team kind of on a string. He's been just the maestro controlling everything in recent weeks in Super Rugby. These guys are on a 6-match unbeaten run in Super Rugby. Went to New Zealand and beat the Chiefs and the Blues pretty comfortably. So these guys are their spirits should be high because they've been playing pretty well. He's kicking at almost 80% as well. Plus, I said Boffelli kicks the long distance ones. So any infringements are likely to be punished. Kremer and Matera have just been tackle machines. Both those guys are kind of in the top echelons of tackles made this season. Lavanini, who is a monster of a man who's been always kind of plagued by disciplinary issues. He hasn't had a yellow card all season, and his penalty count is actually not that bad. So this monster of a human has finally sorted kind of the one major weakness in his game, which makes him also a big threat. His locking partner Petti has also been having a fantastic season. And the one area I will say though is their scrum has not been that dominant. So the one area we tend to think of with Argentinian rugby is that they've got a huge scrum. Their scrum's been okay, but it's not been overpowering all teams. So they did have a couple of props leave for Europe at the end of last season, Super Rugby season. So it's solid, but it's not overpowering. So I wouldn't expect that to be an area where the Pumas get kind of a heap of pay, but they're performing really well in other areas, so it's no reason to kind of let off. For Wales, it's 8 changes to the team that played South Africa. Patchell starts at 10, so Anscombe's on the bench. Hadley Parkes and Scott Williams are in the midfield, which moves George North back to a more familiar spot on the wing. Gareth Davies is at 9, so Thomas Williams, who was kind of impressive in that South Africa game, drops out of the 23 altogether. Jamie Davis joins in the back row, Adam Beard in the second row, and Wyn Jones in the front row. So you'd probably argue it's a stronger Welsh team than against South Africa, but in terms of caps, I think the Argentinians have got them well sorted, because you got guys like Agustin Creevey, who's just been playing for what it seems like forever, and a handful of other guys as well. So it's going to be a test for Wales. They have won 4 out of the last 5, so I guess that goes in Wales' favour, but all of those 5 matches all played in Wales. So this is the first time they've played in Argentina for a long time. Average score has been 27-16 to Wales, so take from that kind of what you will. The ref is also an interesting one, Andrew Brace. He's an Irish ref, but he's Welsh. Kind of born and raised in Wales, has kind of looked up to Welsh rugby players in his youth, so interesting call to put him in as ref. You generally back the refs to be neutral, but also sensibly you don't usually put refs in to referee a match where they may have some potential bias. Not saying he does, but it's just an interesting call, if nothing else. These Argentinian guys need to kind of prove that they can convert the Super Rugby form into test level form. It's not always as kind of simple as that. And for the Welsh, it's a chance for some of these guys who are perhaps not the first choice in their position to really put their hand up for 2019. And I've seen a talk that Warren Gatland gave to the guys at the start of the tour, basically saying as much, that he's only going to take a certain number of players to World Cup 2019, so it's a chance for them to really put their foot forward. So we'll see how they go. Argentina by 5 is what the bookies are saying. We'll see how accurate that is. Crowd support is probably going to be a factor for them as well, because they do tend to get behind their boys in Argentina. So yeah, what do you guys think of this one? Any players you guys are particularly looking forward to seeing, and combinations you're looking forward to seeing, kind of if they can click? Plus any guys you think may be a bit unlucky to miss out. Thomas Williams was the first one that came to my mind, but yeah, let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again after the match. See you later.